Mary Brown, along with her closest friend Jen, shared an amusing video centered on salty birches, highlighting Mary being an ex-polygamist and Jen being a monogamist who attends therapy. It was somewhat humorous, and I found the video to be endearing, and I didn't immediately grasp the weight surrounding the video that was posted. If anyone is familiar with Jen, she's been Mary's best friend for over 10 years. They crossed paths during their time in Las Vegas. Jen originates from somewhere I'm not entirely sure of, but she had been employed as a pest exterminator, literally a bug exterminator, and Mary brought her in to eliminate something in her home. That's how they formed a connection and developed a friendship during that process. She's been a consistent and reliable companion to Mary over many years. In fact, after Mary's mom passed away, who had been managing the Lizzie's Heritage Inn, Jen ultimately relocated to Parowan to assist Mary in managing the inn temporarily and took on the role of business manager. So, she shifted her entire household and relocated for Mary and assumed responsibility for the inn, moving with her spouse and their 2 children. Such a committed friend. Not everyone would do that, but Jen did. And she's always been trustworthy for Mary and a solid listener for Mary. So naturally, when she shared certain news yesterday, it really shook several fans on Instagram and Sister Wives followers significantly. Now, for those who follow them, they had a tradition of doing Friday night with friends, and I believe they might still do them. However, there was a time, not too long after the start of this year, where Jen decided to step back and explain she was dealing with family matters. And without revealing much, she mentioned it had to do with personal issues she was facing, not pointing fingers at anyone, and that it might involve her battling a form of cancer. Well, what has now come to light is that Jen was facing something more heartbreaking, and she disclosed an update yesterday with a photo of her and her husband, Shawn. Shawn has also appeared on the show and has contributed significantly at the inn for Mary and served as solid support for Mary as well. And she wrote, "This picture was taken on our 19th wedding anniversary, just prior to Shawn beginning therapy for Sarcoma, a rare yet aggressive form of cancer. Since February, he has undergone 5 weeks of radiation along with 2 significant surgeries, one of which included removing a 3rd tumor that had developed silently outside the targeted radiation zone. Shawn's road to recovery has been long and filled with pain, but he's gradually regaining strength and returning to the shop whenever possible, and we're thankful for your understanding of our changed hours. We've kept this private so our children could complete the academic year without additional stress. But we have informed them, helped them feel secure that we are progressing positively, and now feel ready to share this publicly and extend our thanks. Messages, check-ins, prayers, and gestures of support have lifted us. To those who stood by our kids without knowing the full reason, we are eternally appreciative. July marks Sarcoma Awareness Month, and though this journey was unforeseen, we remain optimistic, thankful, and determined to detect any possible return early, and we pray that the worst is now behind us. We thank you for loving and standing by us through this. We feel your support every single day. With love, Shawn and Jen." Then Mary commented and replied, "Love you so much, guys. This is extremely frightening. Having my own spouse going through cancer treatment, it's incredibly tough. Since life turns unpredictable. When you have someone who's your steady rock and you never imagine something like this happening, it can truly flip your entire world upside down. And Sarcoma is terrifying. I'm unsure of his current prognosis, but it appears his treatments have been effective so far." So, based on the Mayo Clinic, Sarcoma includes a wide category of cancers that originate in the bones or soft tissues. Typically, soft tissues serve to connect, surround, and support other bodily components. Soft tissues include muscles and fat. Muscles, fat, blood vessels, nerves, tendons, and joint linings. Cancers that begin in these tissues are termed soft tissue sarcoma. Numerous varieties of sarcomomas exist. They can occur in various body areas. Treatment for sarcoma depends and differs by the kind, its location, and other elements. The symptoms are a lump that's visible under the skin and may or may not be painful, bone-related pain, unexplained bone breaks, abdominal pain, or sudden weight loss. This cancer's root cause is believed to stem from cellular mutations in DNA, which holds the blueprint that informs cells what functions to perform. In healthy cells, DNA signals them to grow and replicate at a controlled pace. It also directs them to self-destruct when necessary. In cancer, DNA becomes altered and gives faulty instructions. The altered DNA tells the cancerous cells to multiply uncontrollably. These cells avoid death, unlike healthy ones. This uncontrolled growth creates a mass, also called a tumor. As most know, tumors can aggressively spread and harm healthy tissues. I deeply feel for her because sarcoma is among the more stubborn cancers due to its presence in soft tissues or bones. Once embedded in structures like those, it can easily expand to other bodily areas. While I haven't known a human with it directly, my own cat once had it. It was devastating. My cat was 14 when diagnosed with a growth beneath his eye extending down the jaw, and he began drooling and his breath worsened. A scan or an X-ray showed it was sarcoma. A biopsy confirmed it, and the vet told me this facial sarcoma type is particularly difficult. They explained most sarcomas behave aggressively, tend to return, and are hard to eliminate. So I truly sympathize because it's not only rare but also vicious, and Shawn is still quite young, just like Jen. She's surely enduring a tremendous load and has children too. I'm simply relieved Jen has solid backing. I'm also thankful she is Mary, who I believe would willingly support her and help during this period. It also clarifies her online absence. Truly, my thoughts are with her. From experiencing a husband's cancer, I relate to her emotions. When your rock falls ill, it brings unimaginable dread, especially with all the unknowns of future outcomes. I also get her focus on positivity. It's vital in healing and managing emotionally. If you stay trapped in fear, it creates constant anxiety, and no amount of worry changes the facts. So keeping hopeful and focusing on light is what we've tried too. And for my husband, even though the cancer was removed, he's under regular 3-month monitoring. His form has high recurrence risks too, which could mean more therapies like chemo or radiation ahead. And one major truth about cancer is that it never ends cleanly. It's not done and over. There's always a shadow that it might return. That reality lingers constantly, but you must go on living. However, treatment effects can wear people down. Whether it's from surgeries, like with my husband, who can't do much now, requiring rest and not being active, which can cause sadness and anxiety and general unease. And there's the loneliness factor. So, as mentioned, I'm just thankful she has a strong circle and that there are folks standing by her and the children. And I understand how hard it is to break such medical news to young ones. And I admire her openness in bringing awareness to others. Because someone out there might hear this and think, I've had odd symptoms too. Maybe I should check. So, surely, this is a heavy ordeal for her. I'm honestly proud of her for speaking out to raise awareness, and I truly hope for full healing with no future recurrence. It's such a hard road. My heart's with Jen, Shawn, and even Mary, because they mean the world to each other. Jen not showing up for Friday night with friends now makes total sense. Her lower online activity also makes sense. I don't know if this will be shared on the show, but I'd prefer it wasn't. That said, Jen's presence on the show is valuable. Her humor is refreshing and balances Mary well, offering perspectives Mary might have missed. Everyone deserves a friend like Jen and a partner like Shawn if they're a Mary.